even though it's way too early. It's fun though. Wake up, wake up, wake up! That's right. Wake up, everybody. No more sleeping in bed. Let's go. Let's go. I already got people in the chat. That's what I like to see. That's what I like to see. Okay, Eric Eccles. I had not planned on it, but I looked at the chat and I see that we've got Eric Eccles. He sent out the bat signal. So he is starting a 7-hour round trip. He is hazing himself as we speak. So we got to keep him entertained in the car this morning. My man, I got you for at least 3 hours of that. All right. I cannot commit to more than that, but I can give you definitely at least the first 3 hours. Okay. So this is exactly what this is designed for. Who else we got in here? We got Kurt Locker, Steady Daddy himself. He has arrived and he's defying the laws of physics. It looks like, see here, for some reason it's showing him on Facebook, but I know he's here on YouTube. So he's somewhere in other places too. Wherever, I don't know where he is. He's government trained and he's stealthy. He's somewhere, but he's here too. All right, my man Carlos was first in the building. As usual, said I tricked him. He said he saw the show trailer, thought he was late for the party because of the show trailer. No, man, I'm trying to do better. Trying to have a show trailer to give people an idea of what's going to be on the show. So if they click on the link, it will, it kind of let you know. If you've never seen the show before, you kind of get an idea of who the guests are, what the vibe is going to be like. So I appreciate it. But no, you were not late for the party. In fact, you were early. All right, we got some new comments here. So he's on only YouTube. Man, I'm just telling you what I see. My guy Matthew Porter hitting me up with a morning, y'all. Look at you, those Floridians. Those Floridians. I had 2 Floridians in front of me during this earlier this week, and neither one of them felt any inclination to use their left turn signal, Matthew. I mean, I don't understand what y'all do down there. I just don't know. Let's see here. All right. Says the trailer is awesome. Man, I'm glad you liked it, man. I'm going to try to do some more of that. And as I said, Eric Eccles is doing a 7-hour round trip. So let's jump through some admin stuff before we get the rest of this going. So if this is, first of all, good morning to the East Coast and to those of the Central Time Zone who have joined us early. First of all, I need you guys to help me out. If this is your first time checking out the show, I need you to subscribe. Help me reach 50,000 subscribers because I'm trying to change YouTube. I want YouTube to be somewhere where we can see what we enjoy seeing too. It's not just for the ASMR people who like to watch people crush chalk in their hand or whatever else they like watching. It's not just for cat videos. I like watching home gym stuff on YouTube, and I know that you guys do too, or else you wouldn't be here. So one way to make sure that YouTube does more of that is to hit the like button and then subscribe, because that will tell YouTube's algorithm that this is what you want to see. And the more people who say that, the better it is for you guys. So that's number 1. Click like, hit subscribe. If you've already subscribed, share the video with somebody else. Help the show grow, help the channel grow. If you would like to support the channel, that is easy. Become a member, become a friend of the show. Click the join button and you'll be able to support the channel. Only costs 99 cents a month. But the more of you guys do that, the easier it is for me to upgrade the show, keep the equipment maintained and everything else like that. And I would like to take the show on the road and do some of these interviews in person. And so that's a way that you can help me do that. All right. Now, let's go ahead and talk about what's on today's show. As always, we're going to shout out each time zone when it is 6 a.m. for them. Always do that. Already did the East Coast. So final good morning to the East Coast. Then the first hour, we're going to do news and other things, which includes the Bells of Steel camera bar attachments that I just saw pop up in my feed. So we're going to talk about that. And we're going to have Recliner of Rage at that time. I'm mad again, and I'm going to tell you why. All right. I feel I'm kind of conflicted. About because I was right. So I should be happy that I was right, but I'm mad because of what I was right about. So there you go. So I'm mad again. So you're going to get Recliner Rage. And then In the second hour, we're going to have Rory Ellis from Rorman Strength. He's going to be jumping on here. We're going to be talking about his career. We're going to be talking about the fact that he is apparently the official load tester over at Carp's Gym. And, you know, and we'll talk about some about his products too. So then in the third hour, we're going to have my guy, which is going to be 6 a.m. Mountain Time. We're going to have my guy Kyle from Kaizen DIY. He's going to come on here. We're finally able to work it out so that he could come on. So Kyle's going to be joining me for the third hour. And we're going to talk all about his products, talk about his YouTube content creator, well, about his content creator career. That was really a lot harder to say than I thought it would be. His career as a content creator. There we go. And anything else that you guys come up with to ask Kyle, you can just throw it in the chat, and we'll do that as well. If you got any questions for Rory, so you know, throw that in there. And then in the final hour, which will be 6 a.m. Pacific time, we're gonna have Sean Crandall from Crandall Fitness, and he is going to be coming on here joining me. We're gonna be talking about his business, talking about what's going on with him, see if potentially he might be going to Home Gym Con at some point in the future. You know, if his schedule works out or what. Let's see here. We got all right, here we go. The chat is livening up. First, this is referring to Matthew Porter. Statty Daddy said, Florida man checks in the morning show. You notice that all of the crazy news items start with Florida man and then, or Florida couple, or Florida woman. Exactly. It's y'all. I don't know what y'all got going on down there. My man Travis Vincent. I don't know if you're headed off to one of your installs, my man, but I appreciate you checking in, and I hope you stick around with us while you're getting your day started, while you're driving around, doing the good work, getting stuff going. If you guys are not familiar with Travis assembles he assembles anything, but he assembles a lot of gym equipment. You guys can go and check out last week's show when Travis was my guest, and you can get a ton of cool stories from him about what he does. See here, of course, we got Coach Carp. Coach Carp is in the building. Got his coffee. Good to see you. My man Jared Martin, happy Friday, man. We made it. We made it to Friday, all right? Man, I'm super excited. And this was a Friday I've been waiting for a long time. So 20 years ago, we were on pins and needles, my wife and I, because I was getting ready to deploy to Iraq, and we still weren't sure. She was my fiance, and we still weren't sure if we were going to be able to get everything cleared up, paperwork and everything else for us to get married before I deployed. And so, yeah, this is like the 20, and then 9 years ago today, my little girl was born. And so now the 28th is no longer associated with the fact that we were on pins and needles 20 years ago, wondering if we we're going to be able to get married, but now it's associated with my little girl's birthday. And she's always going to be my little girl. I told her I need to start we're going to let her get up to maybe 10, and then she's going to Benjamin Button and go in reverse. Carp says about Rory, everybody needs a buddy that can deadlift 800 pounds. Yes, exactly. You know how useful that is? Like, what's the name of Meg Squat says, strong friends. You need that. If you don't have a friend who can deadlift 800 pounds, you need to just go to a strongman competition or a powerlifting meet, take snacks, and befriend the strongest dude there. I promise you it'll work out. It'll work out for you. Let's see here. Hey, congratulations. Hey, I appreciate that, Carlos. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. All right, so we've got all that out of the way. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Let us jump into the show, and we're going to go into news and other things. I always feel like I should have a tie on when this part starts, but I'm not gonna. All right, so we got what's in the news today. The first thing that jumped out to me is that Bells of Steel and Fringe Sport are dropping new products at a rapid rate, right? Peter Keller said in the Home Gym group chat that it's on Facebook. Jake started it, and it's a basically we all just get together and we talk shop and we let each other know about what's coming up. And Peter Keller said he has got tons. That's the word he used. Tons of new products on the horizon. And so I'm excited about that. We already know that the Dane came out not that long ago. In fact, Kyle from Kaizen DIY, who's going to be on later, has already been reviewing, has already checked out the Dane. He's reviewing it. So I'm sorry, he has a review up of it. So if you guys haven't seen that, go ahead and jump onto Kyle's channel, Kaizen DIY here on YouTube, and check out that review. But this is this is just the beginning. You know, this is going to be one of those summers where you just got stuff coming out, right? Pause. And then Fringe Sport then just dropped the Raptor Air Bike. All right. So the Dane came out, and Fringe Sport just dropped the Raptor Air Bike. And I don't really have a ton of information about that, but I do know that you know, Peter was talking about it. He says, you know, it's got a whole lot more, that it's not just your normal assault bike. It's not just like a random, you know, I guess it's not quite the bike that we all remember for, well, some of us, those of y'all who too young don't remember this, but some of us remember it from gym class. It was like the you know, it's before y'all called it, the CrossFitters called it the devil's tricycle. Back then it was like everybody just knew it's like that thing that you tried to avoid, you know. And you would think it'd be cool because, you know, the harder you pedal, the more air you get. But if you've ever done it, you know this is not a good time. So let's talk about some of the specs on this thing. It's got a full steel welded fan, provides to give you a smooth, continuous pedaling motion. Got big turf tires. That is huge because that is one of the things that used to get on my nerves about that thing, about the old school bikes like this. I never wrestled, but I know the wrestlers used to complain about it when my kids were wrestling. Like that bike was a pain to just move around. So this got large turf tires to make it easier to move around the gym. Peter Fringe Sport says that this is the heaviest air bike on the market. They upgraded the plastic pieces to heavy gauge metal for increased durability and performance, and it's got a wider base to eliminate the wobbling and the shaking. And then and that's another big deal too. You don't want to feel like you've fallen off when you start to, you know, get the arms involved. And then it's got 10 adjustable seat heights. So supposedly anyone from 4'11" like Carlos to 6'7" can use this bike comfortably. And of course, it's got the wind guard, the water bottle holder, and a phone holder, all for free. I'm not sure exactly. I guess you could put your phone on there and watch something, but you ain't going to be checking your internet if your hands are actively involved in using this bike. So that's the thing. While you got if you're into that, let's see here. And then, not to be left out, and then also about Fringe Sport, they just restocked their kettlebell. So when I was at Home Gym Con, I was talking to Peter, and he said, and I mentioned to him that I had a 16-kilogram kettlebell from them, and I didn't like the handle, the grip on the handle. I say it's too slick. I do a lot of bottoms up kettlebell press, and for one thing, it was so slick that the chalk wouldn't stay on it. So as you know, you're grabbing it and the kettlebell's bottoms up, it would tend to flop backwards. So that's, first of all, that's dangerous because if you can't keep your grip on the thing, it may fall and hit you like in the head or something like that, you know, if you got it overhead. But also it's just annoying because you can't get your workout done. So I mentioned it to him, and he said what happened is they had switched manufacturers, and that I wasn't the first person to bring up that concern. And so they had so Fringe went back to their previous manufacturer, and so they just sent me a new 16 from the, you know, now that they've gone back to the previous manufacturer. And I played around with it a little bit last night. Haven't really got a chance to really dig into it. If anybody's interested in a review, I'll do a review of it. But I can tell you that the grip on the handle feels a lot better. And it's still, if you're going to use it for something like kettlebell swings, the grip is not so grippy that it's going to chew up your hands more than any other kettlebell would, you know, as long as you take care of your hands. So like I said, Fringe Sport, if you're interested in getting some kettlebells from them, they just switched manufacturers. So you're going to want to jump on that. This is a good time to do it. And then, you know, while you're there, go ahead and check out the Raptor Air Bike, check out the Dane, all the other stuff. I don't know what you guys, Carlos said he's 3'2"1/4. I apologize. All right, let's see. Jared says he's got a new product. He's got a the new Kyoto bar from Kensui Fitness. Yeah, let us know what you think about that bar, man. I'm not familiar with that brand. I've heard of them, but I've never used any of their stuff. So let us know how you like that bar. Michael Vaudrey, got another entrepreneur here in the chat. Always good to have you here. Hope you and your wife are doing well. Says happy birthday to my daughter and happy anniversary to me and my wife. Man, I appreciate that, Michael. I appreciate that. And Carlos said, congratulations, already got that. Yeah. So the only thing about the new French Sport products, you guys may have seen, we did when I was at Home Gym Con, we talked about their silverback dumbbells, and a few people have been getting them. I like them. I like the way the design. I like the way the handle feels in my hand. It's not knurling really because it's not a metal handle, but it feels good in my hand. It's nice. It's a nice grippy handle. The only thing is, it only goes up to 50 pounds. I'm gonna need more than that. So I'm hiding in the bushes and watching, waiting for them to get up to at least 100 pounds for the dumbbells, for those silverback dumbbells, and then I will consider. That's when it'll move higher to the top of my gym wish list. All right, for right now, 50 pounds, that's just enough to make me mad. So yeah, that's not going to do the job. And then Bells of Steel, I said they're getting active too. So Kayvon, he's got the elves over there in the workshop working hard. You know, they're up there in Canada near the North Pole. So they just dropped their camber bar attachments for straight bars. And let me see if I can pull this up here. Let you guys check that out. If you are listening on Podbean, then you guys need to come to YouTube in the first hour, and you'll be able to see all of this stuff in the YouTube video as I'm sharing my screen right now. So this is a camera bar attachment. This is a pre-sale, and it pre-orders. So it's supposed to ship by August 5th, which is the day after my birthday. So, you know, if anybody's just looking for something to get me, you know, that's an option. You know, that is an option. Let's see here. So basically what I like about this is it lets you take the bar you already have and transform it into a camber bar. What I don't like about it is I'm not too big a fan of sliding stuff on them. Now, maybe if I use a beater bar, maybe then I won't care about sliding these sleeves on sliding these onto the sleeves of my barbell. But yeah, but I like the idea. I mean, is that something that would bother y'all? Having something like that slide. I mean, I assume, let me look in what it says here. I assume it's got something protecting the barbell sleeve. It's got to have some sort of, let's say it says save space, target your stabilizers with the camera bar attachment, slide them over the sleeves of your barbell, lock them in place with a threaded bolt. See, there you go. You're locking it with a threaded bolt. I'm like, how is that not going to damage your sleeves? Important. Locking bolt may cause wearing of barbell sleeves over time. For user and equipment safety, we recommend using barbell collars on the sleeves of the camber bar attachment. So they come with a threaded bolt, and they say that the bolt may cause wearing of barbell sleeves over time. So if you are concerned about your barbell sleeves, I guess what they're saying is you slide them on, and then instead of locking them in place with the threaded bolt, you just use normal barbell collars to hold them on. I guess that makes sense, but I'm still thinking, okay, there's nothing here. I'm still looking to see, okay, does it have... Nope. It doesn't say what's on the inside of the, what would you call that? The part that slides over the sleeve. I don't know what you would call that. I'm having a brain fart right now. The thing that slides over the sleeve, I don't know what's on the inside of it. Is it UHMW? Is there something to protect the sleeves of your barbell from the friction? If you guys are in the chat and you know, go ahead, drop it in the chat. If you're watching this on replay and you know, put it in the comments. because I don't know, but it's a product that makes sense to me, because and the advantage it has is these two camera attachments are going to take up a lot less room in your home gym than buying another bar, buying a dedicated camera bar. So you can have the straight bars that you already have, and then you just get these, and you can, heck, you can probably hang them on, if you've got like something on a wall storage, you can probably just hang these on in your wall storage and keep it moving. So that is a really uh that from a space saving standpoint, it makes a lot of sense to me. So let's jump into the chat, because maybe let's see if one of you guys has the answer. Said in the condo gym last week, lots of 15 to 20 reps set, because you only have dumbbells up to 50. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Your dumbbells only go. I mean, I'm not saying that you can't do anything with dumbbells if they're under 50 pounds. There's all kinds of things you can do. You do curls, especially incline curls, concentration curls. You can do Arnold presses, lateral raises. I mean, there's a ton of things you can do. Seal rows, with dumbbell seal rows. Can't really do Kelso shrugs. But yeah, the point is you can do a lot of stuff if the dumbbells are lighter, but there's a lot of stuff you can't do if the dumbbells are too light. So I just like to have that variety. Yeah. And so like my current dumbbell rack goes up to 80s, and then I've got one 95-pound dumbbell. So I'm still looking for I used to have 110. Yeah, used to have a pair of 110s, and I ended up selling them because my plan was to just get a match set all the way up to 100, up to 120, and I just never did it. So yeah, for me to spend the money to upgrade, I'm gonna need, you know, I'm gonna need something like those, the silverbacks, to go up to at least 90 pounds. I'll meet you halfway if you get me to 90 pounds. That's all I'm saying. All right. Let's see. Collar. Really? I mean, I don't know. Is it a collar? Let's look at it again. It's not a because I mean, I guess it technically is a collar, but it's like when I think collar, I think like the thing that stops your bar from sliding, not this piece right here. Not this thing, right? Not this. Even though I guess if you have those screw and pipe collars, then that's how they're shaped. That's basically what it is. Okay, so we'll go with that. I'm not emotionally invested enough in it right now to worry about what it's called. We'll go with that. See, Travis is calling it a sleeve. Yeah, what Mike said. Eric says there's no sleeve on the ones Titan sells. Well, guys know how I feel about Titan, and if you don't, I'm not a fan. So anything they do that's non-standard, that doesn't look like anything like anybody else does, especially if you compare Titan to a brand that I do have a lot of regard for, they normally take an L. Like I don't have any Titan stuff here in the house. Michael, who is an inventor, and he would know, he says you need more bearing surface to mitigate the damage from the lock screw. And what about the idea of just using the lock, making the lock screw out of something that's not metal? You can make it out of a hard, you can make it out of a very hard plastic, because it's not like it's I mean, there is going to be some vibrational force just from, when you rack the weight, but I would think that if you get a hard enough plastic, that would do the job, and it's not going to damage. Well, it shouldn't damage the sleeve of the barbell as much as metal would. Referring back to the dumbbell thing, Jared says single arm pressing, you can do movements with lighter dumbbells. Yeah, I mean, I'm not the strongest dude, but I can do a one arm press with a 70. So a strict press with a 70. So, I'm just saying, yes, you can do it. Arnold presses are, I wouldn't say they're tougher, but because of the rotational aspect of Arnold presses, I can get enough out of them. The 50s are enough for me, right? And actually, I could probably do Arnold presses and be fine with 35s or 40s. But I'm just saying, um, even like a one-arm dumbbell press, one-arm dumbbell bench press, that's gonna 50 is not gonna be heavy enough. And that a lot of that is dependent on how much core strength you have, because you have to be able to maintain your position and not let the dumbbell pull you off the bench. So it's a really great core exercise, but even 50 pounds is not gonna be heavy enough. Um, Travis said, back to the collars, they should have designed them with collars as the attaching point. Okay. Okay. You mean like maybe like some locking collar, something like that? Something like the lockjaws, not that style of locking collar. I guess that's the thing. It seems like that's what they did. They use like these screw down type collars as the attaching point. But to me, again, that I don't like that style of collar for anything that's a bar that I care about, because it's gonna damage the sleeve. Tube sleeve. There we go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Matthew. I knew this. I was like, why do I not remember this? But I was like, you know what? I remember when I was taking a class back when I thought I was gonna be a overhead lineman for power line work. One of the classes I had to take was what you call, they were like they were throwing a bunch of electrical terminology and a bunch of math, and yeah, there's a whole bunch of Venn diagrams, all kinds of stuff. And they said, y'all don't need to we got done, and they said, by the way, y'all don't need to memorize this. Don't memorize anything that you can look up. I was like, you just made me go through this whole class and showed us all this stuff, and you watched us take notes. You watched us taking notes and writing all that junk down, and you said, oh, you don't need to remember this. You just need to know where to find it. Don't memorize anything you can look up. So at least I got that lesson out of it. Don't memorize anything you can look up. But nevertheless. All right. Jav said yes to the core aspect of single arm pressing is very different. Just saying how one might still be able to get some kind of lift in with lighter equipment than usual. Oh, definitely. Like if I'm in a hotel gym like Carp was last week, yeah, I mean, I would say most of us in the home gym community, if you've been, or just in the fitness community in general, you've been somewhere like a hotel gym. Hotel gyms are usually the culprit. You go somewhere and they don't have enough weight, right? I would tell you that the Homewood Suites by Hilton have excellent gyms. They've got dumbbells. The two I've been to have dumbbells up to 70 pounds. They've got excellent sturdy benches. That's not always something you can count on in a hotel gym. And they've got their utility benches. All right. And they've got pretty decent cardio options. And then they've got both of the ones I went to had the same brand. It was like a Life Fitness, basically like sort of like a functional trainer. So I would assume that that's who they have a contract with, that they contract with Life Fitness for like their kind of functional trainer attachment, functional trainer station. So I highly recommend them. That would be the hotel chain that I think has the best dumbbells. The Wyndham has a decent hotel gym. The Wyndhams I've been to have decent hotel gyms, but their dumbbells are not very heavy. They stop at 50 pounds. So you just got to figure it out. I know we've all done it as we've traveled or whatever, or even when we're first starting our home gyms and we don't have access to all of the equipment we want. Yeah, you do have the I guess it unlocks your creativity. You have the need to unlock your creativity when the dumbbells aren't as heavy. Like one of the things I like is lean away laterals, right? So you put one hand on a power rack or something like that. You want basically something that's not going to fall over. And then you put your feet on the thing, right? And then you lean, and then your free hand, you do laterals with it. And that gives you more, it extends the resistance curve. So if you're doing standing laterals, then there's going to be a part near the bottom where there's no resistance on your the lateral head of your deltoid. But if you put your feet up against something like a post and do a lean away lateral, then the resistance curve goes further down towards the bottom. So that's a pretty good one right there. Another one that the first Mr. Olympia, Larry Scott, used to like doing is you take dumbbells as heavy as you can, and then you want to lean slightly forward, and you do your laterals that way, and that will target your lateral and your rear deltoids in a different way. And you can actually go a little bit heavier with those. So those would be cool for if you, those would be ones that you would use the 50s on, right? So if you normally can do a strict standing lateral with, say, 20 pounds, 50s will work for you for the Larry Scott style laterals. And also you got to keep your pinky higher than your thumb when you do those. But those are really nice. I like those. Brian, what's up? He has arrived. My brother has arrived. He is in the chat. All right. Go hit Shane and tell him I sent him an invite on Facebook to come watch the show. And I noticed, because I'm observant, that he didn't come watch the show. So tell him I'm watching and he's not watching. I'm watching to see if he's watching, and he ain't watching. So I got my eye on it. All right. It tells me who's watching, and I'm watching. All right. So there we go. All right. So anyway, so those that's the camera attachments. What are you guys looking forward to seeing come out next? I know that I don't know what French Sport has coming out next, but Bells of Steel has a Hydra 7 ring bar. This one is for this set is for coaches. It's a tool for coaches because it literally it's called 7 ring because that's how many rings it has on the bar, and it's designed to help you. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's got all these rings here, so it helps a beginner right there. It's got the center ring to help beginners with their centering for squats on their back and even for front squats. But then it's got rings here to let you know where your hands need to be for cleans, for bench pressing, for snatches. So again, that's why they call it the 7 ring bar. This one is going to be shipping by August 30th. Got a retail price of $259.99. So this is also a pre-order. And then they had another one that is Juno bar, I think. Yeah, the Juno bar. So this would be a women's bar. This is a smaller grip, multi-use bar for powerlifting and Olympic weightlifting. The thing about whenever somebody tells me that a bar is good for powerlifting and Olympic lifting, and I know Kayvon has a background in powerlifting, but the spin is just different for a powerlifting focused bar versus a weightlifting focused bar. So I don't understand how a bar could be multi-use for both, right? Unless you're saying you can use it for Olympic lifting and for deadlifting. You know, when I do want the sleeves to spin and I do want, you know, there to be a lot more whip, but a powerlifting bar is going to be stiffer. So a powerlifting bar is going to suck if you're an Olympic lifter because there's not going to be enough whip and the sleeves aren't going to spin as well. And a weightlifting bar is going to spin too much and there's going to be too much whip when you go to squat and bench press. So, I mean, I've got one of those multi-use bars downstairs, and I use that, to be honest with you, I use it for landmines. And whenever I do, like, you know, one arm snatches or things like that. But nevertheless, what do you guys think of that? Jared says didn't he see some group at Home Gym Con with a bar like that and the rings with different colors? I don't know, man. You guys know that my time at Home Gym Con was compressed. I mean, I still got around and did some interviews, but I didn't get to see as many booths. So if somebody else was there, Matthew Porter, do you remember seeing the brand that Jared is talking about at Home Gym Con? Or Eric? Well, Eric's driving. Eric, don't stop and type in the chat. Stay safe. Both hands on the wheel. 10 and 2, man. 10 and 2, especially if you're in Florida. They're crazy. Keep your head on a swivel. But anybody else who was at Home Gym Con, yeah, oh, Mike V, you were there. I don't know if you remember seeing that brand. So if you do, or if you're watching and you know the brand that Jared is talking about, drop it in the chat. There, Eric, I just told you, don't type in it. I hope you had a red light. Please be at the red light if you're typing in the chat. All right. Eric says is the Stratera weight bar. And Michael V said Stratera or something like that. All right, Stratera. And Carp said he remembers seeing it, but he didn't remember the manufacturer. So just for you, Jared, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna Ask the internet. Well, okay. That pulled up the wrong thing. Let me show y'all what popped up. All right. Y'all screwing up my name, my Google algorithm, my Google search, right? So I put in Shatera and don't have the dang DEA showing up here. I don't even know what well, let's find out what it's for. It's used to treat ADHD. It's part of a total, ironically, considering I'm on a tangent right now. So this drug is used to treat ADHD. It helps by increasing norepinephrine, which should help you with impulse control. Okay, yeah, I don't need any of that. So I'm done with that. I'm just gonna tell you right now, Jared, you're never gonna find out from me because I ain't googling that again. All right, I'm not. Matthew said it's this Statera weight bar. All right, look, maybe there's one R too many, but all I'm telling you is I just got burned by that last Google. I ain't doing that. All right. Jared said that, please. Yeah, I'm glad you're happy, man. Got me on a watch list somewhere now. Like think I'm smuggling ADHD medication. No more. We're done with that. All right. And one more thing is, as far as bells of steel, before I forget, this is not a new product, but since I was on there looking at the new products, I remembered, hey, I've been kind of admiring their deadlift jack. It's really reasonable. It's only like 100 and change, and it's got rollers. So it's a deadlift jack with rollers. So I like that because whenever you start getting really, so what I currently do is I have two bar jacks, right? And they're the ones that only go on one end, but I have two, so I just put them both on the bar at the same time. But that only works till you get to about 500 pounds. So to go above that, I would need to get a deadlift jack that works both sides at the same time. And I've got my eye on the bells of steel one. That's the one that really interests me the most. All right, so let's move on. This is a little bit of a new topic. Put in the comments what's the most interesting. Keep it clean. I always gotta tell y'all that, and no butterflies. But what's the most interesting video you've seen on YouTube this past week? All right, I'll tell you guys. I've got a playlist, and what I do on YouTube is I watch stuff for entertainment. But typically, the stuff I watch for entertainment, I'm also watching and I'm analyzing how they deliver the information, because I'm like, if it's entertaining me, I want to see how they deliver the entertainment, deliver the information in a way that keeps me hooked. So, like, that's how I started watching the Bioneer, right, YouTube channel. Anyway, but stuff will just pop up in my feed because it tends to be a little bit eclectic. And these are the most interesting videos I've seen this week. So let's go ahead. I'll let you guys check out what I'm watching. This is my playlist right there. So at the top, you guys can see this one was really interesting, actually. It's increasing quadriceps growth by leaning back. So a lot of times when you see most people when they do a seated leg extension, they tend to sit up and lean forward, and they're holding onto the handle. But Jim Stepani, that he's a home gym dude, and that gym that you see him in on his YouTube channel, that's his home gym. But he says if you lean back, it'll actually activate your quads better because your hip flexors are slightly flexed. So that one was interesting to me. And then this one by Alexander Bromley, I told you guys a few weeks ago, maybe last month, that he's a home gym channel that you definitely need to check out. I have not watched this one, but he says basically you can squat better in the next 10 minutes. And so I assume that's like a mobility type thing. So I plan to check that out when I'm on the treadmill later on today. And then this one here, this one's just interesting. So this one might interest you, Matthew. I don't know if you're into Muay Thai, but I know you like tinkering and making stuff. And I just think it's cool seeing there's a guy who's a Muay Thai world champion. He's on. I follow him on Instagram. His name is Bao Muay Thai, and he's got that setup there where he's got like the tires stacked up to use as a heavy bag. He's got a really cool tire setup to use for elbows. And this video just shows you how to do it. So that's probably gonna be like the playlist when I'm on the treadmill as well. So basically, what I do is that this playlist is stuff that I just watch when I'm on the treadmill, and so those are the things that are the most interesting to me. Drop a comment and let me know what you guys have been watching on YouTube. What you guys have been finding the most interesting. Besides this show, of course. Carlos, I said no butterflies. No butterflies. Matthew said extra stretch. Yeah, it's and then that's the thing. If you, I mean, just think about, so I mentioned incline bicep curls earlier. The whole point of doing that is you're working the muscle in the semi-stretch, in the stretch position. Technically it's semi-stretch, but you know what I mean. And you're gonna activate muscle growth because you're hitting the fibers in a way that you wouldn't in any other position. So I like the idea of leaning back. That doesn't mean don't sit forward. Also, I would say I'm a big fan of positions of flexion, and so I would say that sitting up would make it more of a mid-range / contracted position exercise. But by leaning back, you're also going to get a little bit of that stretch position flavor. So that's pretty cool. So the most interesting YouTube video Michael Vaudrey has seen is Ashley the Amazing jumping with a Thor hammer. Yeah. And in fact, coming up next week, we've got Ashley's going to be coming to give us a book report. Well, not book report. What do you call it? When you remember back in school when you had to do like the reports of what you did over the summer. All right. So she did a field trip to Force USA, and she's coming to give us a full breakdown of what she did, some of the stuff that she saw, what she thought of their equipment. And so make sure that you guys are here next year. Yeah, be here next year too, but be here next week for that. Kurt Locker, I knew you were gonna do that. I don't even know why you're watching YouTube videos of butterflies, but I'm not here to get in the way of a man's dreams. If that's what fulfills you, Kurt, you know what? If anybody who's got Kurt's phone number, I want you to text him every video of butterflies that if you watch this, text Kurt videos of butterflies just because he's toying with my emotions. All right. My brother said he saw Fat Joe. Man, Fat Joe, and I actually listened to his audiobook. I don't even know where I was driving. It's called The Book of Jose. That dude has some of the best stories. He's been everywhere, and it was really cool listening to him from an entrepreneur standpoint too, just hearing about how he built his career. So yeah, I like Fat Joe. Then Garage Gym Carp said the Garage Gym Radio Teachers Roundtable was very interesting. Teachers Roundtable. I haven't seen that. I need to check. Drop the link to that. I mean, I'm subscribed to it, but do me Carp, drop the link to that in the here in the chat, because I want to click on it and I'm gonna go check it out. That'd be kind of cool. I like watching Jake's interviews. Ashley, look at that. We said her name and she showed up. Good morning, Ashley. We were just talking about your field trip to Force USA, and can't wait to hear all about it next week. Also, Kurt Locker has requested that everybody send him videos of butterflies, YouTube links to YouTube videos of butterflies. If you see an Instagram video that has butterflies in it, feel free to send that to Kurt as well. Hit him up in the DM, send it to him. He loves that kind of stuff. So yeah, that'll be cool. And let's see here. So now that was the last news item. Now we're gonna move into the next segment. It's the one you've been waiting for. I'm not gonna make y'all wait this time. Carlos got mad at me because I made y'all wait till the end of the show last week. And so it's what you've been waiting for. Prepare yourself. It's the Recliner of Rage. It's the Recliner of Rage.
It's the Recliner of Rage, 'cause he's not happy.
I am certainly not happy. Well, okay, like I said, I'm conflicted. So remember last week I told y'all that I was suspicious because I knew something was up, that something rotten there was something rotten in Denmark somewhere, and I just couldn't identify what it was, that something was bound to be happening. Okay, well, I was right. So I don't know whether to be glad that I was right or mad that that it happened, right? because that's right. Today's Recliner of Rage is dedicated to my standing desk, which is in my home gym, and it recently betrayed me during a review video, right? So it's a do-it-yourself sort of mounted standing desk. It used to be a TV stand back before you had TVs that could be wall mounted. Well, once we switched to a wall mounted TV, we just had this TV stand. I'm like, well, what are we gonna do with it? I didn't throw it away. Nope, I turned it into. We adapted it. I took it over to my guys over at Steel Materials here in Cartersville, Georgia. Got them to adapt it so it would mount on my rack, and it has served me faithfully for the last 2 years. But last week, like I said, I told you guys the gremlins were hard at work in the home gym, destabilizing my feng shui, and sure enough, not 24 hours after I told you guys that something bad was on the horizon, this happened. Just watch this. All right, minding my own business, trying to make a living, and this happened.
When I first got it out of the box, it just looked awkward. In some ways, the shape is similar to the Theragun.
See what I'm talking about? Y'all see that? Minding my own business. That's not happened before. Okay? I'm trying to do the dang review, and down goes Frazier. All right? Down goes Frazier. So, fortunately, I was alert for potential betrayal. So, I was ready. So, what I did was I've got some, well, ironically enough, they're Kaizen, but I've got some Kaizen adapters. So, they're used like when you go from you get an attachment that's for a 3x3 rack, and you have let's say a 2x3 rack. So the Kaizen adapters are used to make up the space, right? Well, they're magnetic. And so I stuck them under the end that was light. So I used them as a counterbalance. So temporarily, that was my temporary fix, right? But I'm going to be looking for a more permanent solution going forward, because I think the problem is that this was, when I had this thing made, it was made for a 3x3 rack. Because like I said, it's never been a problem. And I've realized that I've only used it with the 3x3 racks, and the rack that I currently have downstairs isn't quite a true 3x3. So I think there's a little bit too much play in the, what do you call it, the strap that goes around the back. So there's not enough friction to stop the tray from tipping over. So I would need multiple size spacers to keep the tray from moving. And I might ask Kyle about that when he comes on. But the fact is, that's not what's important. What's important in this moment is I was betrayed, and I knew I was going to be betrayed. So I was right about being betrayed, but I'm mad that I got betrayed. In fact, I'm not going to be happy that I was right. I expect to be right, because when I'm right, I'm right. And even when I'm wrong, I'm always, I could have been right because I'm right, because I might have been wrong. Okay? That's that. Because I'm right. In any case, the Recliner of Rage is sponsored by my guy Ashton at Freedom Fitness Equipment. There's no need to be in the Recliner of Rage when your home gym is outfitted with what you need to achieve your fitness goals. All you need to do, if you want to don't get that shoddy junk that's going to just break down on you. Don't let happen to you what happened to one of my uncles. He had this rickety bench because he was trying to save money, and he was doing incline dumbbell bench. The bench broke under him, and he fell, ended up tearing his rotator cuff. All right. Don't be like that. All right. Instead, get yourself some quality home gym equipment from my guy Ashton over at Freedom Fitness Equipment. You can give him a call. Call him right now. 980-216-4860. He'll work with you to help you build the best gym in town right there in your home. All right. Now we've got a few minutes before our let's see here. He said perhaps maybe a tube sleeve and a lock screw would help. Yeah, I don't feel like that's gonna help. I feel like you're trying to be the Mike's got jokes now. All right, there you go. I just got out the recliner. You know what, Mike? Just for that. There you go again.
It's the Recliner of Rage. It's the Recliner of Rage, 'cause he's not happy.
I didn't mean to do that to you, Mike, but you forced my hand. You forced my hand. If you guys are watching live, once again, make sure that you are checking out the audio version of this show on Podbean if you would like to have it, so that way you don't have to have YouTube up the entire time. The episode is available as soon as the live stream is over. The episodes are available. So, Eric, you said you got a 7-hour drive. Well, you can go to Podbean when this is over, and you can listen to previous episodes that you may have missed, and that'll give you another 3 hours right there. That's 6 hours. All right, we almost got you where you need to be. All right, this show is here. We are here for you. All right, I'm here to help you. All right, now let's see here. Said not too early for JG. Nah, not at all. What? Hold on, y'all talking about I'm already raging? I'm not happy, man. The junk. You know how long I've had to hold this in? That's right. Remember I said something was going to go wrong, and I was going to have to hold it for like 7 days. So I was mad about that. In fact, I'm mad about that too. Dadgummit, I'm mad about that too.
It's the Recliner of Rage. It's the Recliner of Rage, 'cause he's not happy.
Yeah, cause I'm mad because I had to wait 7 days to tell y'all. All right. Anyway, I tell you what, let's do something that's gonna make me happier. So, Matt Welch, you are here, and you the star of the show. So look at Matt right here. Look at him. So proud of him. Let's go, Matt. Doing some stone lifting. There you go. Almost there. Let's go. Oh. Whoa. Come on, Matt. You went the wrong way, Matt. Is that supposed to happen? Is that what's supposed to? I don't feel like that's what that. I don't feel like that was the goal. But Matt, I want you to understand this is not a fail. This is not a fail. If you will just move your stone loading platform over to your left by 3 feet, you can, that hole right there that you just created, you can put a nice cactus right there. So it's not that you drop the stone and now cause the divot in your yard. It's the beginning of spring planting. All right, that's what you just did, because you're a forward thinker right there. All right, so don't be discouraged by that, Matt. You're just a gardener. It's the start of your garden. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm here to encourage you. He says that Matt says I'm working on building a pond. I don't know. Well, yeah, you got room for ducks. Put some ducks out there, man. And as I understand, the ducks will eat the mosquitoes, and I know it's always raining in the UK, so you gotta have mosquitoes. So yeah, and some midges and all them things. So yeah, that'll work. That'll work. And now let's go to my other one. This is other one that's submitted to me. This is my guy Rocco. I'm still very upset with how you disrespecting that Garage Gym Life banner, Rocco. But I love the fact that you got it up. So Rocco's doing some upper body, some lower body work there. I can't tell what brand of safety squat bar that is. He's moving too fast. In fact, actually, congratulations to Rocco, because he just earned his black belt in judo. So that's a pretty big milestone. So I'm really proud of my dude right there. And I appreciate you tagging me in your video, showing me all the stuff that you do for GPP. Rocco competes in powerlifting, strongman, Highland Games, and judo. And he's got his black belt. So once again, shout out to you, Rocco. Congratulations on the black belt. All right. So it is 6:53, and we are getting, that's a kabuki. Is that the Carp said that's a kabuki? Is that that's not a transformer bar, is it? They ain't gonna make me watch it again. Come on, Rocco, hurry up. Let's go. Get under there. Is that a transformer bar? Oh, you know what? I see it. Okay, I see it now. I couldn't see the I'm moving it like you guys can see my pointer. All right, yeah, I couldn't see it. Okay, yeah. Nice. All right, let's get that off there. Carlos said the disrespect. I know, man. How you gotta have the banner up and then have the banner leaning? You know what? Maybe that's the gangster lean. We'll call it that. That's the gangster lean, right? All right. That's the gangster lean. All right. If you let's see here. Go here. Matt says, on a good note, I hit my first 200-pound axle press last night. Just missed out on 215 pounds. Number one, shout out to you for using imperial measurements. Very proud of you. That shows growth. That shows growth, Matt. You didn't come with that metric stuff. And number two, congratulations on the PR, man. 200 pounds is legit. 200-pound axle, 200 pounds. That's a person. You just pressed a person overhead. All right. You don't believe me? Go grab. I know somebody's walking by your desk right now because you're at work. Just pick them up and stick them over your head. All right. Flex that new ability. Flex that new ability. If they complain, let them know that, let's say the building flooded, you will be able to keep them above the water level longer than anybody else. All right. So you are there to save them, and they should feel more secure, and tell them that they're welcome. All right. There you go. My brother said, nice press, my dude. Yeah, I'm saying my brother's got a really good overhead press as well. So he's from one strong man to another. And actually, my brother also has a gym that's outside in his back garden. There you go. Okay, hold up. See, Matt, you give with one hand, you take with the other. There you go, metricing again. He said, I know I got to do the conversion for y'all out there. It's 6 kilograms above his body weight. Nobody, there you go, 12 pounds. Nobody knows. Nobody, I'm not doing the conversion. Okay, we have charts over here to do the conversion. I ain't doing it. Yeah, he's pressing a grown man over his head. Mike, that exactly. The next time somebody at your job asks for a raise, just pick him up. Pick him up, Matt. Everyone deserves a raise. And he said the banner's dropping on the scene with the gangster lean. That's right. It's like having switches. It's like you hit the switches. You know, you're hitting switches with my banner, all right? Hey, man, Rocco, I'm going to need you to fix that banner, okay? Hey, come here. I need you to fix that banner, all right? Okay? Okay. All right, and last one, Jared Martin says, Tattoo saying, is that a strict press? Heck yeah, axles are a good time. I prefer bench pressing with my axle, but yeah, that a strict press overhead is legit. You always feel like because you have, it's like the handle is so much bigger, like it feels substantial. You're like, man, you feel like you conquered the world whenever you press, get a nice axle press in a way that you don't get with just a normal straight bar. All right. My brother's headed out. He's going to class. Hey, we'll see you later. Don't forget to call your niece and tell her happy birthday. Later, my man. All right. Now it is 6:57, so I'll go ahead and I'll just shout out to the Central Time Zone now. Good morning. Good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. If this is your first time checking out the show, go ahead and hit that like button and hit subscribe for me. Help me reach 50,000 subscribers. We are, I think we're over, let's see here. Let's check out the channel. What is the channel looking like? Yeah, we are, we got some good, first of all, we got excellent viewer activity on here. But yeah, we're doing good, man. I can tell you, if you told me when I first started YouTube that I would ever have this many subscribers, I wouldn't believe you. And it's all down to you guys. I'm not gloating at all. I really, really, from the bottom of my heart, thank you to all of you who have subscribed, and to all of you guys who are watching this, who are going to subscribe. Thank you. I appreciate you. You're helping me fulfill my dream. So thank you. We're going to hit 50,000 subscribers this year. I believe it can be done, and I need you guys' help to do it. All right. And here's another way if you guys are looking for a way to support the channel, and that is to grab a banner. Go ahead and grab a banner, and here's how you do it. Hey, if you want to support our channel, plus grab the perfect finishing touch for your home gym, go ahead and grab one of our 16-ounce laminated vinyl banners. They are easy to hang and easy to clean with just soap and water, and a great way to show that you represent the garage gym lifestyle. So head over to our friends at freedomfitnessequipment.com and order yours today. There you go. That's all you got to do. And when you hang your banner, don't have it leaning. Don't have it leaning. Don't have it leaning like Rocco. All right. Ryan Leach said, go Dogs. Hey, of course. Look at that. You see that? You see that right there? You know the deal. We got to come back. We try to be nice and let the University of Alabama represent the SEC in the national championship, and you see what they did. So, hey, if you want it done right, you got to do it yourself. But we're gonna try to not talk about SEC football because we got Rory Ellis coming on. Rory is a Tennessee fan. And whenever you got somebody who's a friend and they have a problem, you basically, like when they got like stuff that's going on that's not going well for them in their life, you try not to bring it up. So I'm asking all of you to not bring up Tennessee football, okay? I'm asking everybody to not bring up Tennessee football in any way for the sake of Rory, all right? He's got a lot of stuff going on, and it's just not fair to him, all right? It's just not fair to him. Travis, did you say Bullfrog, Georgia Bullfrogs? Don't get kicked. Hey, man, don't get banned from my channel. Don't get banned from my channel, Travis. You know where you live, all right? Don't be one of those Georgia Techers, all right? Don't. Travis? Hey, look, lean in here. Don't you talk about my Bulldogs, okay? All right. Okay, now, all right. So let's go ahead and let's bring my guy on. This is our first guest. It is time for the man himself. If you're not familiar with him, you're about to get familiar. My dude, Rory Ellis. Show you love. Rory.
What's going on, John? Good morning.
First of all, I'm a fan of that t-shirt.
Yes,
t-shirt,
thank
100%.
you, sir.
Hey, that's it. I love that shirt. Here, look, we're gonna let everybody. If you are just listening to the audio version, you need to come on here and check out Rory's shirt.
This shirt was actually, believe it or not, like $15. It's from a company called Red Letter One. They run sales all the time. They do like limited. It's basically the same shirt. They just change the colors and stuff. So they run sales all the time. So check it out. Red Letter One.
Only problem I see with that shirt is you're supposed to let your lights shine before men, and if you wear it at night in the woods, nobody's gonna see the shirt.
That's true. I do walk around in the woods
because it's a black shirt with camouflage on the front in the lettering. So if you wear it at night in the woods, nobody's going to see the shirt. So that's going to be a problem right there. Okay. Now, Rory, this is not on the list of things that I asked you to do, but due to circumstances beyond my control, my little girl, I control this. Yes. Okay. My little girl was born 9 years ago today. But due to circumstances beyond my control, she somehow realized that I was going to have a musician on. I don't even know how she found that out.
Okay.
And she has demanded that you sing happy birthday to her. So her name is Nora. Huh?
I got to get a guitar then.
Yeah. Get your guitar. Let's go.
What's the name?
Said, Nora. Like Nora Jones. Nora.
Done.
All right, there we go. This is what y'all come here for. That's right. Let's go. So Nora, Daddy was listening. I was listening to you when you made your multiple requests. She said, "Make sure they sing happy birthday to me. Make sure they sing." I said, "They don't even know you. I don't care. Make them sing happy birthday to me." I was like, "All right, very, very well." Like all her Puerto Rican side came out. She was like, "Make sure they sing happy birthday." I was like, "Oh, all right, very well." So,
let me tune this thing up real quick.
Okay.
Right. Good enough.
You need lemon juice?
That's good enough.
You good?
All right, Nora. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Nora. Happy birthday to you.
There you go, my man. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. All right. My man Cart says the Pied Piper of Level Arms. There you go. And you got people admiring your guitars, okay? So let's go back up because your fan section has arrived. All right, your fan section.
So we got.
All right. First of all, we got look, Carlos. I told you not to bring up Tennessee Volunteers. He said I volunteered to now say anything.
Funny story about that, John.
All right, here we go. All right, go ahead.
Funny
story,
Rory. I couldn't.
If this is too painful to talk about.
No. I couldn't care less about football. It's good for you, I promise. As a dog fan, I couldn't care less about football, to be honest.
Excellent.
I wear the Tennessee shirt to fit in here, so people don't hate me. But I truly don't follow football a whole lot. I know enough to talk shop with guys, but in your case, I'm actually a bigger Bulldogs fan than anything else because I follow I followed college ball when I was at Fort Stewart, and I was stationed there for a while. I had a buddy that I practically lived with. He let me stay at his house all the time because I was in the barracks. He was married, and it was a good friendship and whatever. So I watched more Bulldogs games than any other college football game. So definitely go Dogs. I have
There you go. There you go.
No shame in saying that.
Let's go. You're welcome back on the show anytime. You're
Yeah.
welcome back on the show anytime. In fact, we're gonna get you a Georgia Bulldog shirt so you can wear it that special day when we come up there and take over.
So I was going to, but it's like a size medium, and I wear an XL now. I can't fit into it any longer.
Oh
so
no, they make bigger ones.
Oh yeah, that's
I
my
promise
wife.
you.
Yeah,
we get you hooked up. Well, we got. I promise you, we got. It's all over here. We'll hook you up, man. I got you. Yeah, I can't let you walk around with that Tennessee shirt. Use that to clean the dog bowl or something.
Right, there we go.
All right. Yeah. Let's jump into the chat. I've got questions for you, but we got people in the chat who want to say stuff. You know what? The legend of Rory, as your mustache grows, so does your strength. That's what Carp is saying. Is there any truth to that?
It is true. Every time I trim it, I get weaker. And I have to trim it pretty often. You guys are seeing me in rare form. I have about a 2-week beard. I'm active duty Army, so typically this is all gone. It's just an ugly mustache. And unlike Kurt liked to call me out on my mustache at home gym con during the meet. I don't have the regulation to go past the lip because he's in the Air Force. It's not really a real
the hair force.
Yeah, chair force, all that jokes. Yeah. It's the same thing, But yeah, my mustache has to stay within the borders of my mouth, so it looks really goofy when I just do a mustache. But to Carp's point, by the way, what's up, Eric? When I trim the stash, I definitely get weaker.
So here's the thing, little known fact. Kurt's dang mustache is not regulation either. He said that he does a heavy waxing on it to the tricks to get it to be within regulation. There's a lot of waxing. Yeah.
That's pretty great.
Matthew Porter says Rorman strength in the house.
In my house, literally.
Yeah, of course. That's the best place. And he's got a shirt on. Last Instagram video, he did not have a shirt, but
it's true.
It's fine. When you're strong, when you're as strong as Rory is, you can, you know what, dude, you probably can be shirtless at church and they'd be like, hey, it's Rory. It's fine. It's fine. Just paint a tie on your neck and you're fine. Yeah. So Michaels wants to know if those are all your guitars.
Yeah, they are. These are just, I've been playing since I was 10. I'm 32. So 22 years of collecting, basically. Each one of these has some kind of significant story behind it, but yeah.
Do you have a specific brand that you stick with, or do you like to just,
Yeah, so
I realize that you play acoustic as well as other kinds.
Yeah,
so,
this guy right here is a Ernie Ball Music Man. That's the John Petrucci series. I won't get too nerdy on that, but John Petrucci is a guitar player in a band called Dream Theater, who is a progressive metal band, and he's known widely in the musician world as like one of the best guitar players of all time, and this is his signature model. And for a period of time, I was in a band. Progressive metal band. It was like a heavy version of Paramore. We had a female singer and everything, and we were signed to a couple labels, and we were endorsed by that company. So that's my go-to guitar. But then obviously all these other things do. It's just like gym equipment, like a barbell. These are just different barbells. One might be a power bar, Olympic bar, deadlift bar, whatever. They do different things. So
I don't know if you are. So I have a question and a comment. Why does that one guitar have what looks like a Florida license plate on it?
Because it does. So I actually made this. There's two of them actually. So this is actually one of the ones that I played most of the time. I made this guitar. This was actually my very first electric guitar. The body of it, at least. Everything else is completely new. But I wanted, just for sentimental reasons, I had the body laying around. So I stripped everything and made that, and then I made the Tennessee plate. Or the Florida plate, rather. And then if you see the green one over that way, that's also a Florida plate. That's a 1965 Florida plate with a Texas plate as well. Because I was born in Texas and I was raised mostly in Florida. So, that's what those are.
Okay. And then the comment I have is, if you are not friends with David Dennis from Gorilla Strength, you need to become friends with him.
Okay.
I will, if you DM me your DM me your phone number. I'm about to say text me your phone number. No, DM me your phone number and I'll connect it to you guys because he is really into guitars and he's a freaking genius when it comes to creating equipment.
Oh, nice.
So it's now that you're kind of dipping your toe in the strongman waters.
Yeah.
David is the dude you need to hit up. He's right there in Kentucky.
Okay.
He's not a far drive from you.
Okay.
Yeah, man. He's the man. All right. Oh yeah, outstanding. All right. Yeah. I'll connect you guys. All right. Yeah. Then next question is Kurt says the rules are for squares. and you know,
well, to be honest, Kurt, just for your knowledge, no one from my unit's watching, nor do I care. They all know my mustache out of reg at all times. The Air Force reg is like a 1/4 inch out. I only know that because we have 4 Air Force personnel in my unit. I don't keep it like this. I trim it a little bit, but it's definitely out of reg.
So, out of curiosity, I thought that the Army didn't require you to have like the clean shave if you're off duty.
They don't anymore.
Like you're on leave or whatever.
Yeah, no, not off duty. No.
Okay, that's what I thought. Because in the Marine Corps, you had to have, it was like if you're off duty but not on leave, you had to be clean shaven regardless, right? At any time. Like if you're at the mall and you got, I mean, a 5 o'clock shadow, obviously, but if you walking around looking like one of the dang Duck Dynasty people, then you'll get talked about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So all right, let's see. And Jared now wants to know if Kurt's gonna go full beard lady. So here's the thing. Let's circle back around to Kurt's comment, because that's the sort of comment you make when you're not far from retirement. When you're a master sergeant, not far from retirement. So take those comments under advisement. All right. If you're not the things I just said, that's not what you hit. All right. It's ignore that completely.
Yeah, I've got like 13 years to retire, so I'm not in that boat.
Yeah. So let's see. Eric said that's the Dream Theater. And we got more musicians here. So Matt said he played bass for 15 years.
Nice.
All right, there we go.
Why play? Why is that past tense? You can still play.
So he had a Music Man.
Yeah, there you go.
And a Music Man said they're great. Here we go. Matthew Porter says, you know that Florida life. Yeah, he's probably seen a bunch of people not using their left turn signal. Or left turn signal on for no dang reason at all. That's also an option in Florida. That's one of the other things that's available. You know, I always wonder, did you get your driver's license in Florida? Or were you in America when it happened? Did you get your driver's license in Florida, or were you in America already? Okay, so you did get your driver's license in Florida. All right, so what I want to know is, what do they say about the left turn signal at any point during the driver's license thing? Was that something they covered? Because, I mean, you got to do a road test, right?
Yeah. I really don't know. So I was 15. I got it the day I turned 15 for my permit, and the day I turned 16 for my license. So I don't really remember. I'm sure there was something in there, but I've been driving. You know, my grandparents had golf cart and 4-wheelers, so I drove things all the time. It wasn't. I wasn't worried about the driver's test whatsoever. It was more like the hazard signs that you had to actually study for 5 minutes, and then I don't understand.
I'm just saying, I've been to Florida a bunch of times.
Oh yeah,
I've seen Florida drivers a bunch of times here in Georgia.
Yeah, it's a hodgepodge of everyone, mostly from the north people the snowbirds, and so you got a lot of bad drivers.
And then you have like the Cubans, you got people. So you have people from other countries too. Anyway, what I'm saying is that the road rules are very flexible in Florida.
Yes, absolutely, especially Miami, Southern Florida, which isn't even Florida anymore.
So okay, here we go. So Kurt says, and this sounds exactly like the sort of thing a sea lawyer would say. He said, I actually got mauled by a dog in some high desert areas, and he has a medical shaving. I believe you've got a medical shaving waiver because the scarring on his face gets cut when he shaves. You know, I believe all of that story. All I'm saying is the more I know about Kurt, the less I believe that medical shaving waiver is necessary. But I know he's got it. So if you got it, you're gonna flex it. There you go. Yeah.
The military.
My favorite is like the Marines the black Marines who had like the no shave chit, because it's I get ingrown hairs when I shave. Well, actually, you get ingrown hairs when you stop shaving. So there's like in that in between period, that's when you get the ingrown hairs. So you could either grow a full beard and look like Archibald Henderson, Grand Old Man in the Marine Corps from back in the Civil War days, or you could shave every day and then you won't have ingrown hairs. That's what I did, but whatever. Let's see here. Oh, okay. There's an idea. This might be something we can get Jake to do for the dinner. It's the Home Gym Con 2025 concert series. Kurt plays the drums.
There
We're
we
starting
go.
to get something together now.
Eric on
We're starting to get something
that's a
together.
band right there. That's Rush. That's a trio, power trio.
And they said they want me
drum.
on vocals. I mean, I sing a little bit now.
Yeah.
Have you seen the intro?
I've heard the song.
You've seen the intro, and I had my backup singers for Recliner of Rage. I got some potential. He said, "Okay." Yeah, I know it was a difficult decision. There you go. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you can look like a Middle Eastern militia, or you can shave. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, okay. All right. Let's actually get to one of the actual questions, because you brought up the music career. I mean, we talking about your music career. You've got a ton of irons in the fire, though, man. I mean, you're competing in powerlifting. You've competed once that I know of in strongman. Then you got the music career because you play like every weekend, from what I know. Then you got a product or a couple of products. You're trying to get your products off the ground. Plus serving, then after lunch you serve in the military. So you've got a bunch of stuff going on. So, and then on the side, this is an unpaid gig as far as I know. You're the unofficial or the official barbell load capacity tester for Carbs Gym. So
yeah,
I know the military helps you a ton with time management. And it gives you like the willingness to just kind of power through sometimes. But how do you balance all of that? You know what I mean? Like and then you got to spend time with your family too. So how do you balance all that?
Yeah, that's a good question. I really don't know the answer. I don't do very well. Hang on. Sorry.
Whoa! Okay. Balancing was a joke. Did you just fall down? You okay?
No, my dog is in here. No one else is awake right now, so he just knocked over the last paint. He just knocked over this giant.
That's not a dog. That's a deer, man.
That's a deer. He knocked over the picture of the stag.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say, Rory, drink water. That's not a dog.
Hey, Leonard, say hi, mate. Say hi. Oh, Leonard just got his nuts chopped off a couple weeks ago.
Hey, no wonder. Hey, man, I'd be mad kicking stuff over too.
Right? I would too.
Lord.
Actually, I did. I was neutered relatively recently as well, and I was kicking stuff over as well.
All right, so go ahead. How do you balance things?
So I really just kind of I'm not one of those people that plans everything. I don't have like a schedule and write everything down, even though my wife probably thinks I should. My wife does all the scheduling, puts everything in like a Google Calendar, and for big events, big things.
That's why we marry you.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah. I'm good at keeping it internally. Like I know what needs to be done first, and I just kind of prioritize those things. In terms of like working out, I've been working out for about 12 years, and I really just like it. So if I go more than a couple of days without doing it, I just kind of get irritable and annoying from what my wife tells me. So it's just part of my daily routine, just like brushing my teeth. I don't think about it. I just have to do something. I usually work out 7 days a week, but I use like a biceps day as like a rest day. Like I don't really do, it's not a full training day, but I'll do biceps or something, calves or whatever, just to work out. Yeah. Like it's like an active rest day. But in terms of business, this is still very new to me. I started Rorman Strength right before Christmas. I launched 10 products, just 10 handles, basically. It was kind of like a proof of concept kind of thing. And to my surprise, most of them sold out before Christmas, which was insane to me because, Christmas time is where people are budgeting everything and trying to save money for their kids and do stuff like that. So the fact that I sold, I think it was 7, before Christmas came up, and then I had like 3 left over that took about another 2 weeks or so. That was a good proof of concept that people actually did like the product. And it was proof to my wife that I wasn't wasting our savings, dipping into that fund. So, but yeah, in terms of, just organizing all that other stuff, it's really just work is a no-brainer. I have to do that. That's what pays the bills. Rorman Strength doesn't do that. Unfortunately, being the load master for Carp doesn't pay anything either. Although that's a lie. Not monetarily, but Carp's been very good to me. He gave me a shirt. He gave me some of those ab mat weight spacers. He gives me little things here and there because he gets a lot of stuff from companies. So Kurt's a great, or not Kurt, but Carp's
you should tell him. You should say, hey, let's work out a deal where anything I can pick up and fit in the car, I can have.
What can I
never invite you back over?
Yeah, right. I'll get that with that determination. I'll get that new that leg press, ATX leg press.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know how he fit that in the car, but good on him.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Figure it out. So I said you're we've talked a little bit about the low capacity thing. So if you guys haven't seen it, you need to go check out. I guess it was on Carp's Instagram.
Mhm.
And, well, it was on his YouTube as well, where he
YouTube
had
is
the
fine.
video where you came over and you helped him test out that trap. Well, you've done a lot, but you did the one that specifically I'm thinking about is like you helped him test out that trap bar.
Yeah.
To see like how much weight it can handle. But the thing is, as far as competing goes, I'm looking here. Your best platform numbers are 575-pound squat, 410-pound bench, and a 727-pound deadlift.
Mhm.
Then in the 2023 October, in the fall garage gym competition in 23, you posted a 555-pound squat. I'm assuming this was without prep either. So
Yeah.
555-pound squat, 405-pound bench, and a 710-pound deadlift. So not too far from your. It looks like everything was roughly about 20 pounds under your platform numbers, except for the deadlift, which was about roughly 10 pounds under.
Yep.
And then you stopped screwing around and you hit a 415 bench in May of this year. And then like you went on tour and you just started benching 405 and deadlifting 700 in just random places. Like, hey, I'm in Texas, I'm benching 405. I'm over here and I'm benching 405. Oh, I'm over in this random place, I'm deadlifting 700. So what the people want to know is, does that make you the world's strongest acoustic guitarist?
Probably. If I categorize myself as just an acoustic guitar player, then absolutely I would say yes. Because acoustic guitar players are typically, it's going to offend a lot of people, but I guess if you categorize yourself as a solely acoustic guitar player, you're probably a little bit nerdier than an electric player. Electric players play all the solos, all the cool stuff. You know, people think of Slash and all the big iconic rock guitar players that play electric.
So are you saying you're stronger than them too?
Absolutely.
Because there's that one dude that's kind of big. I saw him on stage with a LL when doing the Mama Said Knock You Out. They always had like this pretty muscular guitar player that would be there.
I'm not sure who that is, but he's probably some crazy good. If you're playing with LL Cool J, you're great.
Yeah. But he's a pretty much. So LL's a pretty good sized dude, and this guy was about the same size as LL.
Yeah. Okay. He's probably really good.
You know what? Let's just assume you're stronger than him too. Right there. Boom. You heard it here first. Rory Ellis is the strongest guitarist in the.
Nah, that's a mic drop.
That's right.
I don't want to drop this, but we'll simulate it.
That's right. All right. Rory Ellis, strongest guitarist in the world. All right. So that being said, what I said you just hit like the 415.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on with your squat, man?
Thank you.
It's like that's the only thing that's lagging.
It's the only thing that's lagging. So I have this nagging knee pain in my right knee, and I've had some hip things. No injuries, thank God. I've been really lucky about that. I think it's just because I trained pretty smart. But the squat, I think, is probably the only lift that actually scares me because that's the only lift I actually feel pain in. So I probably nurse it a lot more than I probably should. But I do squat quite a bit, and I squat often. But my whole thing is going back to the planning question. I've never written down an exercise in my 12 years of training. I've never programmed anything. It's all just been like go with the flow kind of thing, how my body feels, reacting to that, and just kind of changing the course as I go along. So I actually just looked up another powerlifting meet that I'm interested in doing, or not powerlifting meet rather, but a strongman competition in August in Nashville. And I'm planning on, he doesn't know it, he's probably not watching either, but I want to hire Adam Dirks.
How come these people aren't watching? I told you to share the link.
I told Adam to do it. No, I did. I don't know. He's a professional strongman. He's got things to do. He's got people to eat and people to smack.
Okay.
So Adam Dirks is the coach for Evan Singleton, and he is one of the top 3 in the world for strongman, and he's over here in Nashville, Tennessee. So I'm going to hire him for this next prep, and I'm actually going to do like an actual program. I've never hired a coach. I've never bought a program or anything like that. It's just always kind of been off the cuff kind of training, and that's probably what's hindering my squat. I imagine if I had someone stronger and smarter, they'd be able to analyze my squat and find out why. But I ask myself that every day. I'm like, why is my squat so subpar compared to my bench and my deadlift? But it just is what it is.
Are you a narrow stance squatter?
So I've changed my stance a lot. I used to be narrow, high bar,
yeah,
and I used to just dive bomb. And I think that I would watch videos, and I think my dive bomb technique kind of messed up my knee a little bit because I could watch my knee shift forward on the right just a tiny bit.
Yeah.
I was always just proud of like the depth. Like I liked being able to
Sure.
dive bomb, 500 pounds and make it look cool. But I think as I
Thought you were
as I was
some
training
facts, huh?
yeah, as I was training in powerlifting, I realized I don't need to go that deep. Like I'm going this much deeper than the competition regulations. So I widened my squat quite a bit, pointed my toes out a little bit more, dropped the high bar down to like a high low bar basically because I don't have the shoulder mobility to get in there. But I've changed it all a lot, and it's been going. That's when I got the 575 was after that. I think the 555 that you mentioned earlier was a high bar, and I was just stagnant in the mid fives, and I'm slowly creeping into the high fives. If I could get to 6, I'd be pretty happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking because this is just kind of me just thinking what you're saying. Because of the thing with your knee, because I got a knee injury that's a gift from the Marine Corps that they're still paying me for.
Yeah.
And so I end up having to start squatting more like Steve Goggins,
Mhm.
right? I don't squat exactly like him. Definitely not squatting as much weight as he did. The dude was the first guy to squat 1102.
Yeah, he's a freak.
But so he calls it squatting with your whole body.
Mhm.
So he uses his back a whole lot more, right?
Yeah.
And basically coming out of the hole, what he does is he pushes his upper back into the bar, kind of like that. So basically he said the way he did it is his squat supported his deadlift and his deadlift supported his squat.
Yeah,
right?
that's good to do it.
So yeah, I'll send you the link. I mean, I know you got a guy that's going to be training you. I'll send you the link just for you to watch. See,
yeah, absolutely.
You can check it out.
I met
Steve. My
Goggins.
son how to squat like him.
Oh, nice. Yeah. No, he's a great guy. I met him. He was actually I've actually only competed once in a sanctioned meet. I did a sanctioned deadlift only event just to break a state record, which is silly in the long term. It's actually kind of like the Massonomics shirt that says like, best deadlift over 40. It has all these different subtitles.
Yeah.
It's one of those. It was a state record for the 198s in the deadlift only category. So it was like 3.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
But yeah, Steve Goggins was the meet director there, and he's a great guy. And but yeah, I've only done one actual sanctioned full powerlifting meet. Other than that, they've been like gym competitions that were just put on. Yeah, but
like on base or something.
Usually I just here at the Golds in Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Because you started lifting in Afghanistan.
Yeah. So I started lifting a little bit before, probably about a year before, but I didn't really get serious until Afghanistan because I was probably doing 3 or 4 days a week. But I joined the Army probably at $140. And when I left in 2015, so I joined in 2011, early 11, and I probably weighed $140. And then when I left, I was probably 270 or 175. So I probably gained 35 pounds. All those newbie gains, of course.
Sure. Yeah. And then plus, I mean, like when you're training overseas, I said this in like one of the questions, like when you're overseas, on the one hand, you've got like depending on your training tempo, your operational tempo, not training tempo, your operational tempo, you sometimes have more time to train because basically you're just training, patrolling, and eating and sleeping, right?
Yep, exactly.
And so you tend to like, it's really good. Like I went to Iraq and I was like 185, came back, I was 195.
Yeah.
Right. Because it just, again, once we took Fallujah, it was like eat, sleep, patrol, lift. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. And then you come back to the States and it's like you got all this other stuff pulling on you, you know, and it's actually harder than you would think, than most people would think to train when you're not deployed.
Yeah.
And you got all that other stuff going on than it is when you're at home and, life is just whatever.
Yeah. Luckily for me, when I was stateside, I was in Georgia. I was a very young E4 at the time, and I was in the barracks. The gym was a 3-minute walk from my barracks room. So like even once I got back from Afghanistan, I was training similar to that style. I just had more stuff to do, for my unit. But I didn't have anything to do. I didn't have a girlfriend at the time. I think we broke up when I joined the Army, weird things like that. And so I was just, eating, sleeping, training, and that's pretty much all I did. So I gained, obviously, and newbie gains are a real thing too. So I probably gained 35 pounds of muscle in that first 4-year enlistment that I got out. And when I did that, I was still training very, very frequently. I've never missed. Actually, the longest stretch of time I've gone without working out is a couple of weeks ago or last month when I had my vasectomy, and the doctor said, do not lift. Because my wife told him, she's like, he's gonna break the rules.
Hold on a
He's
second.
gonna lift. I was like, of course I am.
Hold on.
Yeah.
You and the dog had matching vasectomy. I mean, what's going on?
Same doctor. Same doctor.
Same doctor. What?
Same veterinarian. They gave me the cone and everything, so I couldn't, clean myself.
It's a 2-for-1 special,
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, a discount. That's what the coupon said. So
exactly, it was a coupon.
Hilarious. Oh God. All right.
Pre-4th of July sale.
And with that being said, Kelly, thanks for tuning into the show. Kelly goes to church with us, so yeah, really. Well, she's watched the show before though. She knows how junk gets crazy over here. Joey Echeverria, my man, what's up, man? Let's see. All right, now is all the dang snip story. So Matt says he had to take 2 weeks out of the gym after his. The 2 weeks off hurt more than the operation. I find that hard to believe. And then 50 Cal Fitness, I had that up a second. I'm gonna put it back up. Says Rory is truly a genuine dude and a brother in Christ. Happy we got to meet him at Home Gym Con. What do you mean? I noticed you didn't say you were happy to meet me at Home Gym Con because that happened as well. 50 Cal Fitness.
Yeah, he didn't say that. That's weird.
No, that's.
Come on, Derek.
I wonder what he's trying to say. Yeah, Derek. Anyway, he came. He said you went down there and saw him a week ago and had a blast. It's pretty cool.
I did. Literally a blast. Yeah. Yeah.
So
I was.
Oh, that's right. Because y'all were shooting, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So I was driving from Houston, where my family is, and to Corpus, where my wife's brother and nephews are. And we stopped in. It's literally like direct path, maybe 20 minutes off the highway. But we stopped in and I saw Derek and Cody from 50 Cal and saw all the cool stuff they're coming out with, which I can't talk about, but they've got a lot of really cool products coming out. And yeah, they're just super hospitable. Again, brothers in Christ, which is amazing to just meet people and how that really connects people, I think, to a deeper level than it's like a gym bro kind of thing. So very blessed to have met those guys and gone over there, and they were super hospitable. My wife and daughters, we had the daughters at the time because that was why we went to Texas. Actually, it's for my family over there to meet my daughters. Because I have a 2-year-old,
nice. Awesome.
a 2-year-old and an 8-month-old, well, almost 9-month-old. So they met them for the first time and did the whole car drive thing from Houston to them, and that was a good stopping point. It was about an hour and a half or 2 hours in, so girls were getting a little irritable, and Cody's wife was super nice, and they took him in. They have 2 little girls as well, and they were just playing and all that stuff while me and Cody and Derek were shooting some stuff and blowing up plates with tannerite. So it was fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Matt has a recommendation. He said there's a guy named Zach Wild. So he may give you a run. He's a monster. So that we need to set up a comp for the strongest guitarist in 2024. I feel like we may need a little bit more time than that.
Well,
but you could do that. What you can do is you do a lift and you tag guitarists and say, "Are you a guitarist? Can you do this or whatever?" And then you do it'd be like an Instagram thing, right? So they'd have to do it to see who, and then claim the title of world's strongest guitarist.
So I'll just say, I think
prize.
I think my title still stands. Zach is not strong. Zach Wild, he played the guitar for Ozzy. That's his big claim to fame. He also does Black Label Society, a couple other rock bands. But Zach, he is shredded. He's like 60 years old and he's absolutely shredded. But he probably weighs $180. I got him all day. Sorry, Zach Wild, if you're watching. I sent the link to Zach Wild, so I don't know if you tuned in, but I sent the link.
So you basically letting him know, hey, by the way, no offense, but I am stronger than you.
No offense, Zach. You got pinch from today, but I got the deadlift.
Zach, I am your father.
he is a beast. He was big in the day.
Hey, my man, Ian Matt. Hey, what's going on? Jim Dad _1976. What's up, dude? Little known fact, Ian made my spotter arms. The ones that say Garage Gym Life. Did you guys see the ones that had the Garage Gym Life on them?
Yeah.
Ian made those for me. So, hey, shout out to you. First time on the show, man. I appreciate you being here, dude. And Eric said that Zach is also old. So, don't knock the old dudes. I'm telling you, there's a reason they call it old man strength.
Yeah, I'm getting
that's all I'm saying. You just got a new follower, Carlos. So you just got a new follower. Now, Carlos, I don't know if you followed. Did you follow both of them? Because all right, you don't need to follow just one. So let me give you some help. All right. So first of all, follow at Rory Ellis Music on Instagram. And that includes those of you who are listening to the audio version. Go to Instagram, follow at Rory Ellis Music. And then you want to follow at Rorman Strength on Instagram as well. That's the business. And that way you can check out Rory's products. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit. In fact, let's talk about that now.
Yeah.
Well, let's just get this out of the way. Has the PRX situation affected you and your handles, or is it good? I mean, because basically your handles attached to the lever arms.
Yeah.
So that kind of, are you good because of that? Because or what?
Yeah. So their patent doesn't have anything to do with my product whatsoever. So that PRX video only did me a lot of business. So I'm very grateful to Coop and the guys at Garage Gym Reviews for mentioning me in a couple videos. If you haven't seen it, he actually mentioned me in the Fitness Most Wanted, like the best products of 2024, and I was mentioned 4th in that video, which is awesome. So I was probably 6 minutes into the video, he talked about the Megalith handles as the most innovative jammer handles on the market, which was really, really cool. But the PRX video, it was like a 26 minute long video. And I think I was mentioned at like the 20-minute mark. So a lot of people hadn't even watched that far, especially if you're not a jammer arm fan. You're not going to watch a 26-minute long video on jammer arms that you don't plan on buying. So the fact that I got as many sales as I did from that video, it just speaks volumes to what Coop could do. And the reach that they have. So I'm very grateful for that. I've seen a huge uptick in sales. And I'm very, very blessed and grateful for that.
That's good because you already slinging Megalith handles in the parking lot at Home Gym Con.
Yeah. Thank you, Jim.
Yeah. I see everything, okay? Yeah. I see it all. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at these handles here and talk about some of the things that have to, about them, what makes them unique. So these are the Megalith handles. Yep. And this, being more specific, this is the handle because this part, the actual horn, that's a different. Well, you guys sell that too. But
so that's actually the handle. That's the knurled handle part. The weight horn would go on the other side of the.
The part that go on to attach it to the rack.
Yep. Yeah.
All right, because I know that you said basically they only come with the nut. They don't come with weight horns.
Correct.
So,
and I'll show you. So like when you buy the Megalith handle, it would come like this. So this is a stainless steel version. This is just one of the last 10 that I sold before. The first iteration was stainless steel, and they were 1/4 inch thick. The reason I stopped doing that is because I wanted more strength in a thicker product like this. So we beefed it up to 3/8 of an inch thick, and then it's powder coated black. Just
that's a lot bigger. We got the branding. Look at you.
Oh yeah. I'm a big branding guy. I used to draw logos for metal bands. So logos.
Let me give you the big screen right there.
Yeah.
All right.
There we go.
All right. So if you're just listening, Rory just showed us his product. So you can check that out on the YouTube version at Garage Gym Life Media on YouTube.
The handle itself is this whole thing. And so when you buy a pair of Megalith handles, this is what you get, and there would be just a regular nut on the end of this. And then if you wanted to upgrade, we do sell knurled nuts that look really, really cool as well. So this is solid stainless steel, the knurling on the edges like that. So it's got like that ergonomic grip, so it's really easy. And the cool thing with these that's a little bit different because you can't really innovate on a nut that Rogue already patented the knurled monster nut that has the integrated washer on it. So what we did is just made it a little bit different. So this is a smaller diameter. So on a 1-inch rack or a 5/8 rack, they'll stack right on top of each other. So you don't have to waste any hole spacings. So if you want to, these are $25 a piece, $50 a pair, and that just threads right on like that. And then of course we have 5/8 as well.
Nice.
So, those are additional charge, but the handle, again, what you get from when you order a pair of handles on the website, you'll get exactly what you see. I threaded this too much. You get exactly what you see here, only minus the silver. The stainless steel, you'll get the black one, which is a little beefier. Nice. Yeah.
Okay. And so you guys can just head to romanstrength.com and you'll be able to pick that up. But you've got other products on there. It's not just the Megalith handles. So let's go ahead and check out some of your other products because I actually had a question about your weight horns. So let's go to the weight horn right here. Check this out. I'm going to share the screen right now for those of you listening. All right, so we're checking out your stainless steel weight horn. Right there is what got my attention. Scroll down just a bit. This looks like it's slightly angled. I don't know if you've got one there.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so let's go ahead and let's stop sharing, and I can just look at it right there in your hand.
John, I'm giving you my A game.
Oh, I see. Look, he's prepared. Hey, everybody else, all other guests, take notes. Okay.
I got the whole interface. I got the mic, everything. Oh yeah,
Look at this. This is amazing. All right,
yeah,
and you got a YouTube channel, so that does fit.
With it, but yeah.
Yeah,
but
that's all right.
But yeah, you can see there's a slight bevel. It just helps load the plates a little bit better. It's just a very, very slight bevel. So
what I want to know,
a tiny bit.
Well, what I wanted, the reason I asked that about the angle is I cannot stand when you have a weight horn and it's straight across. It's level, right? Because the plates come off when you're racking the weight, right? Especially if it's mounted in the back of the rack. But if it's slightly inclined, right? So it's got a slight incline, so it's going up. It doesn't have to be a lot.
Yeah, they usually
look like the letter. It don't want to look like a letter J, but just a little slight incline right there. That'll help prevent the plates from just coming right off, right? Yep. And it looked like yours have that little angle. Do they?
So I wish they did. They do not. So I'm sorry to say that they don't. They're just a regular weight horn. So it just threads on. I mean, if you bend the nut at the end, you might be able to angle it a little bit.
Okay, so all right. So what you just did right there, that you understand what I'm saying, right? It doesn't have to be that big, dramatic an incline.
Yeah. It's usually 3
degrees. It does look kind of thick.
Yeah. Well, so the good thing is, so unlike a lot of weight horns on the market, this is a true 2-inch. So your normal collars will fit on all of it. And the cool thing with this one is, as you can see, this is 1 inch here, and that's 5/8 on the other. So no matter what size rack you have, you could use the same weight horn. This is 12.5 inches total length, and then we have this guy that comes with it that is just a sleeve protector. So basically, when this goes on your rack, you don't have any metal contact, and then also when the weights come up here, the weights aren't touching your rack on the other side. So you're not having, with jammer arms especially, that's a big deal because the weights could come back and smack your upright. So this is just kind of a cool thing. So this is 1 inch long. So when this is in use, you have a full 11.5 inches of loadable sleeve. And then you can also use your regular collars. So you won't have that slipping issue. But I know exactly what you're talking about because I have the plate loaded lat pull down low row from Rep on the back of my PR5000, and those are slightly angled. So when you drop a plate on there, they just stay there. And I think the standard's like 3 degrees or something. It's a very minuscule.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a lot. It's just if it's completely straight across. I mean, it's a miserable time because you've had this happen. I'm sure. Like every time you rack the weight thing. So let's say I'm benching, right? That's 6 sets, okay, including warm up. So 6 times I got to get up and go get the weight. And it's not like I'm ramming it back. It just comes off, right? Yeah. It's just so annoying. And then let's say I do assistance work. Okay. So let's say, if I'm benching, it's going to be, it's going to be bench, maybe close grip bench, or maybe like a 2-board bench or something like that. Well, that's another 3 to 4 sets. So now instead of 6 times, now it's 10 times. I'm having to go pick the weight plates back up. It's cardio. But that gets old really, really quick.
Really quick, yeah.
Really quick. I'm not a fan of that. Because I was looking at getting a pair of your horns. I've got some 100-pound plates, and they're always on the ground, except for my Forever In Between power rack, because I've got some bolts that I just I drilled 2 holes on either side, and I just Frankensteined it to put some regular bolts on there. But I'd like to have some weight horns because the bolts don't really look good, right? Yeah. So I'm not saying it's off the table now. I'm just saying that's what I will use it for. Absolutely. For my 100-pound plates. Yeah.
Well, the good thing is
I've only got one of each.
Yeah. The good thing is too that 2-inch diameter out, the tube diameter will be a better fit on your sleeves. That's what they should be. You don't have to use axle bar collars. A lot of the weight horns on the market are like 1.85 or 1.9 inch tubes, maybe even smaller, because if they're true dedicated weight horns that aren't necessarily for plate loading, just for storage, they're actually usually thinner. I think they're like 1.75, and that's just for ease of getting the plate on and off. So I think that's why they do it. But yeah, the 2-inch diameter will help with that. Yeah.
All right. So we got a comment here. So Joey said these are the best handles and nuts in the game, and Carpenter's abandoned us. He's done having fun. He's got to go do some work now. So we will catch him on the replay as usual. Hey, you know what? Shout out to Carp because he's always really good about coming back and catching up the rest of the show on replay. So shout out to him, and if he's watching now, so on replay. When you see this in the future, Carp, shout out to you and all the replay gang. I appreciate you guys.
Eric is probably the most active person I see in this community. He's that's why everyone knows who he is.
He's everywhere.
That's why everyone buys the shirts. Actually, to be honest, it was either this shirt, which obviously God comes first, or Carp's shirt. Those are the only two options when I was getting dressed this morning.
Here's the thing. If you had told me that you wanted to wear Carp's shirt, then I could have worn mine, and then we'd have been twins. We'd have been wearing the Carp.
I actually even thought about hanging it on the back of just my chair over here. So I could be like, oh, here we go. Yeah.
That's it. Hey, Carpe Diem, man.
Yep.
Now, you develop your stuff in partnership with Aperture Engineering.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about that relationship. How did it start? What's it like working with them?
So Greg from Aperture, I have a lot of products from them. So when I first got Jammer Arms, the reason I found Aperture, I forget who I found them through. It might have just been myself, but either way, I found the plastic covers for my Rep spotter arms, because before I got the Vendetta adapters, which are absolutely the best adapters on the market, not even adapters, just the best way to use Jammer Arms. So I know there's a whole PRX controversy going on now, but if you want to support a small company, Britton from Vendetta is the coolest dude on the planet. I'm actually meeting with him in about an hour. I gotta leave after this to see Britton in Chattanooga. But
is he watching?
Yeah, I told him to watch, so we'll see.
Okay.
He's actually little kids, so who knows? He'll definitely watch the replay at least. But yeah.
Well, here's the thing. So that's why I tell everybody when they come on, I'm like, hey, like you saw the thing. I was like, no profanity, because people watch with their kids, or they'll be have it on. The kids are playing in the background. They're taking kids to and from school. I'm like, man, let's not teach the kids any words they don't need to know yet. All right.
Yeah, I'm all for it, because I being in the military, obviously you're around a lot of people.
You hear things,
and I've been bad at it too. But with my girls, I'm trying to be a lot better with it.
Yeah, because you don't want them to start talking like that. You're like, hey.
Exactly. And just as a follower of Christ, I think it's important to represent God well. Like you wouldn't necessarily trust the words that someone's saying if every other word is an F-bomb, and then they claim to be this godly man. So that's really important to me. So I like that you added that in on the show note portion in the email. But so Aperture. I got in contact with them because I needed some 3D printed not spacers, but just washers. So I wanted to protect the rack, because unfortunately Rogue patented the technology where you have the washer built in to your nut. That's a patented feature that Rogue owns. So I went to them to get a custom washer made. So when the washer is in place, you don't actually see the washer. I'll show you real quick. It's right out of reach.
Rory is now going to go get something.
Here we go.
Updates as they become available. Oh, he's back.
Okay. So this is what they made for me. It's just a standard washer, but they're nice and thick and beefy. So what this does is it just goes right in the back of that washer, so that way you don't actually see it from the front. So it doesn't change the look of that clean stainless steel look, but it does protect your upright from metal contact. And then with the 5/8 pieces, they also made this custom piece. Guys, dropped on the floor. I got another one. Look at that. I got another one.
Look at that.
And what this does is it covers up this shaft collar and just makes it a cleaner look. And then it also acts to, when it's in place, it protects the upright from metal contact. So that's Aperture Engineering's extent of the Megalith handle. That's what they built for me. And I'm very glad to be working with them. Greg's super, super good guy, super quick to respond, all kinds of things. He delivers really quickly. So, but in terms of actually making the product like Megalith handles, because Greg didn't have any part of the Megalith handles themselves, but I do want to shout out Britton again from Vendetta Strength, because Rorman Strength would probably not be where it's at. Not probably, it wouldn't be where it's at without Britton from Vendetta Strength. So during this whole PRX controversy, I'm definitely very biased toward that because I have a close relationship with Britton. But I basically went to him because I saw him on a podcast. I think I saw him on the Garage Room Reviews channel, and he was just talking. I think he openly said, hey, if you guys have an idea, shoot me a message and I'll try to help you out if I can. I think something to that degree. And I did. And sure enough, he helped me out. Never asked for a dime. I tried to pay him a bunch of times. Never asked for a dime. He helped me do all the CAD drawings for Rorman Strength. These are a direct collaboration with him. These nuts and the weight horns are a direct collaboration with him. So this was designed by Britton and myself. He did all the CAD drawings for everything. He did all of that stuff. So in terms of collaborations, Britton has been a huge, huge help. So if you want to help me, help Britton too. If you like jammer arms and all that stuff, buy the Vendetta adapters before you buy the Halo arms.
Nice.
That's my spiel.
No, that's what I mean. Because I was gonna ask you how people can support you anyway. You're a musician. I mean, you're in the military, so you've got what they call multiple income streams. But the cool thing about your products is it's a way to generate passive income. And I mean, you've got multiple kids, so the reality is that if you you can't leave your music career to them, right?
Exactly.
You can't leave the Army to them, but you could leave Rorman Strength to them.
Absolutely.
And so to me, when I see it, I'm like, a business like that, it's passive income, but I'm looking like, hey, this could change somebody's legacy. In that your kids could grow up. And this is something that I don't necessarily, is not necessarily always like viewed as important in America, because it's always like, oh, well, what if the kids don't want to do this? I'm like, just think about the only people who talk about the kids not following them into the family business are people who don't have money, right? Wealthy people, their kids follow them in the family business all the time, and they look happy to me, all right? And and what they'll do sometimes is take the family business in a different direction, but that's how you build wealth for your family. So 3 generations from, maybe next generation isn't rich, but 3-4 generations down, everybody's built on it, and now you've changed not just your family's legacy, but you've also made it possible for your family to positively change other people's families' legacies. And so for me, I think it's a great thing to help a small business, a family-owned small business, because you never know how that's going to be used, down the road in a positive way. And I mean, I tell my kids when I first started Garage Gym Life, I said, to me, success isn't just having Garage Gym Life be, make money. It's one day when I'm done doing it, somebody comes up to me and tells me that they went to college because their parents were working for me, and they were able to pay for them to go to college or something like that. That to me is success. Like I've
that'd be the coolest thing in the world.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, I don't want to necessarily be rich, but it's like, hey, if somebody says Garage Gym Life made it possible for me to go to college, that's winning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's winning, because I feel like I know we're blessed specifically so that we can be a blessing. You're not blessed to hold on stuff. You're blessed so that you can be a conduit for God to bless other people. And I believe that with all my heart. So I'm 100% on board. Everybody go, I'm going to put it back up. Everybody go check out RormanStrength.com. Support this dude. And then I want you to go to Rory Ellis Music on Instagram. Because that's where they can find like where you're playing, and then you've got songs on there. You got your is it Brothers in Arms?
Yep, Brother in Arms,
Okay, Brother in Arms is up there. Go ahead. Talk about that.
I don't do a whole lot of self-promotion when it comes to my music, but if you do want to check out anything, I do have I think 3 or 4 songs on Spotify. Brother in Arms is probably the biggest, like most played one, because Mike Rowe from Dirty Jobs actually shared that on his Facebook page with like millions and millions of followers, which is really cool. But yeah, that's just been, that's what I love to do. Music, I still write songs. My dreams of being a country music star are probably over now with my girls, but I still write music, and I still plan on pursuing a writing path or publishing deal of some kind. So that's where my passion is. And if you want to check out any of that, I actually post a little bit more on, I absolutely hate to say it, but I actually post a lot of music on TikTok. That's about the only thing I post on there, because I hate TikTok as a streaming platform, or as a platform in general. I think it's just a terrible place to be.
Well, let me ask you this. All right, so let's give you a safe haven away from TikTok. Have you thought about using YouTube basically you add your music. I don't know how to do it, all right, but you add your music to the YouTube library so people can use it for like their shorts and stuff, and then you'll get paid for that.
I haven't looked into that.
Yeah, that's something that you could do. And then you have a YouTube channel, so you can put your videos there. So like, what's that? What's the guy named Veer Hall? He's a singer. Now you got me. He's a singer. He does different. Veer Hill. Yeah, he's saying like, so if you just put in VERE Hill, just put it in the Google machine, it'll pull up and put up Tennessee Whiskey. It'll show him coming up, and like there's like a street musician. He just walks up and sings, right? But he's also got some other stuff. So he's got his own channel. He's like, anyway, he's somebody who does that, right? And so that's an outlet for artists, like even if you're not touring or anything else like that. Mike Young, who was on American Idol a while back, he was a Subway singer, and now he's got a thing so that you can use his music and you can basically I know Snoop Dogg was talking about how like he put his music on like SoundCloud or something. He said, "Man, I'm making all kind of money off of that because people."
That's funny. Yeah. I have like
you don't have to tour even once, you know.
Yeah, that's the dream. Honestly, that's why I'm pursuing more of the writing realm now because I don't want to be in the spotlight. I don't want to be famous. I don't want to, like you look at Taylor Swift. She can't do anything without being seen. She has to have her own little world, or people of that same like celebrity status, rock. They can't go anywhere. That'd be a miserable life. I think I just want to be, successful enough to support my family, like you said. Maybe if I'm lucky enough to leave some kind of legacy or just something for them to have. That's all I care about. I just want to provide a good life for my family and honor God and everything I do. So that's the goal with Rorman Strength.
Don't you hide your light under a bushel. If he gives you a platform, it's because he trusts you with it.
Exactly.
All right. Shout out to Jacqueline Romero. Thank you for joining us. She gives us the smiley face. Appreciate you being here, Jacqueline. So for the sake of Jacqueline, if she doesn't know,
that's my wife. She hasn't changed her last name on YouTube apparently.
Oh, okay. So here's what we need to do. We need to make you big enough so that Jacqueline will change her last name to match yours. All right. Okay. My wife actually didn't do that either for a long time. And every year when we would go get our taxes done, I would get the lady who does. So we've had the same person doing our taxes for the last 20 years. All right. And so every year that we, for like the first 3 or 4 years we would go, I would get the lady who does our taxes, I mean, Susan, I would get her to harass my wife about changing her name on her driver's license. Right. And I was like, come on now. I mean, she changed her last name, but she didn't change it on her driver's license. So here's what we're going to make Jacqueline change her last name. We're going to make Rory's name so big. She's going to be like, I'm going to be an Ellis. All right. So, all right. Tell everybody how to keep up with your brand, everything that you got going on, Rory. I'm going to give you the big screen. Let them know where to go to follow you, your business, your music, everything. Just tell them everything.
So I will mention just on the last word, she has changed her name. It is Ellis, and it is Ellis on Instagram. She never gets on YouTube. I'm surprised she's even watching. I'm surprised she logged into her YouTube or remembered the password, to be honest, because she forgets every password. But
okay, anyway. Hold on a second. Hang on. I'm gonna save you from yourself. I've been married 20 years. Rory, stop now. Stop now. Okay. All right. She already got you in the dog of vasectomy the same day. Just stop. Just stop now. All right. Right, go ahead.
Back to the pitch. All right. So the company. So Rorman Strength, RORMAN. It's down at the bottom. Perfect. Look at that. So Rorman Strength. That's where you can get anything from the company. The megalith handles are the biggest. The flagship product, if you will. And got some cool, exciting things coming out with that. There's a lot of new iterations and different angles and stuff like that coming. So really excited for the megalith handles and what they've been doing. So check out romanstrength.com for all that stuff. There's also t-shirts and stickers and patches and stuff. But then down there, Rorman Strength on Instagram, that's the page. I post it on there most frequently. So if you want to stay up to date with anything I'm doing, order status, all that stuff, I post all that stuff in stories pretty frequently on Rorman Strength Instagram. My music is Rory Ellis Music. So just my first and last name, then the word music at Gmail, or I'm sorry, on Instagram, and then on TikTok, it's the same thing at Rory Ellis Music. If you just search Rory Ellis on Spotify, I got a few songs on there. If you want to give it a listen, that'd be great. So yeah, that's all I got.
No, it's not.
What'd I forget?
Subscribe to Rory Ellis Music on YouTube.
Yeah, I never pitch my YouTube. There you go. Subscribe to Rory Ellis Music on YouTube. So I do post occasionally, like reviews or something. I've done a couple reviews for gym equipment, but most of the stuff is music content as well on the YouTube. So yeah, subscribe to Rory Ellis Music on YouTube as well.
All right, I've got the perfect solution because I don't give problems without solutions. And so once again, I got a solution. So here we go. All right, Jacqueline, this will solve everything. You're going to go ahead and abandon the Jacqueline Romero YouTube. Instead, you're going to manage Rory Ellis Music on YouTube for Rory, because he mentioned earlier before you came on that he's not good at scheduling. That's why he just lets you do it. He's a smart man. All right. And so there you go. So don't even worry about, she says she doesn't know how to change her name on YouTube. Don't even worry about that. You just want to get rid of that. Just delete that YouTube address and just start managing Rory's Rory Ellis Music on YouTube. And if you do that, I promise you, now it's going to blow up and it'll probably have like 1 billion subscribers because Jacqueline's going to run it from now on. But Rory, man, I appreciate you being on here.
Yeah, I'm trying to get
stuff. You know what? You could even just do how many guitars you got? How many guitars
20,
do you have?
About 20.
20? Yeah, all right. Yeah. So what you could do is you can start a series where you're going to play a different song on a different guitar for 20 days straight.
So I actually thought about doing that with the I posted a video.
And post that on YouTube. There you go.
You know the squat video where people play guitar while they squat? I did one of those.
I saw that.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing a different song and doing like a series every week. Like, hey, pick a song and I'll play it. So maybe I'll do that. If there's enough demand for it, I'll do that and risk my life.
There you go. Oh, Jacqueline says you got, we brought up the wrong thing. She said you got too many guitars. We need to be quiet before she goes, before she starts pruning your collection. All right, yeah, we're done. Rory, I'm get you out of trouble. Get out of here. You got a meeting to go to. If I were you, I'd lock the door to that room. And I appreciate you being here, my man. Thanks.
Appreciate you, John. God bless you guys. Thank you so much.
All right, later. All right, that was Rory Ellis, the man himself, world's strongest guitarist. You found that out right here today. That's why you come to this channel, right? And that's why you watch this show. So you guys make sure that you are following Rory in all the places that we mentioned because he is definitely worth the follow.